Hi, welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about Sufi healing for non-Sufis. And, you don't have to be a Sufi to do Sufi healing. And, it helps if you are a Sufi because you can open up to higher levels of the downpouring of light that comes, from walking the Sufi path. But it's not necessary to be a Sufi. In fact, the only condition in this form of healing really is that you have a belief in God, and that you're willing to connect to God and begin that relationship. Now, if you don't have that connection and don't want it, that's probably not the best healing method for you. However, if you're open to it, because really what we're doing in this Sufi healing is we're learning how to access the healing lights of God and use them to essentially purify the illnesses or the disease or the problems in life. So Sufi means purification, and that's really what this is all about. It's about purifying the ego self, the mind, the emotions or the heart, the soul, which are your personal attributes, and being able to make them pure and clean in a holy way. Now, in my opinion, that doesn't, it's not only a Sufi who has to do that. It's anybody who's walking a spiritual path, anybody who wishes to better themselves in life, um, anybody who wishes to come closer to God, either in this life or the afterlife. They're needing to have that level of purification. The more that you're pure inside, I believe the better life you'll have. I know from a fact that the purer you are, the less illnesses you'll generally have. And the more you purify, the faster your illnesses will disappear. Sufi healing is really for everyone and to help people who are struggling in themselves to overcome what's going on inside of them. Some people don't realize that deep inside of them, they are carrying things that they've picked up in life that are causing problems for them and others. In the Sufi purification work, we work to clean those things out of people. And we find that when they do clean, things begin to change in a person's life. A lot of times, those purifications are really about the emotions. It's working at getting rid of anger and fear, sadness, hatred, things like that. Sometimes it has to do with belief systems, about limitation or false beliefs. Sometimes it needs to do with illusions. Illusions are images or pictures that we carry inside ourselves that are wrong. For example, if we believe that we're not good enough, that's a belief. But behind that belief, you might be carrying a picture where you'd failed a test, let's say, or your parents were unhappy with you. And in that picture, you see yourself as bad. That's called an illusionary picture. If you carry that deep inside your subconscious, that illusionary picture will cause problems inside of you. So it's very important to work at understanding those illusions within. Now, many people, they don't want you to know that. What they want you to do is to follow what they're doing, which is basically materialism, or to be controlled in certain ways. And in this system, we actually want to free you from control, free you from any control other than your relationship to God itself, which is positive, the only really truly positive and powerfully good control there is. So I'd like you to take your time and try to work these things out inside yourself and know that Sufi healing is for everyone and that all people can purify themselves and that you do not have to be a Sufi to learn Sufi healing, but all Sufi healing is using different aspects of God's light to purify what's inside of yourself and to make yourself holy and good inside. And my experience is when that happens, when that purification happens, people do heal. In other words, what we find is that when a person carries something not right inside themselves, like they don't like themselves, or they're raging about something, and they purify that rage out, or they purify that dislike out, illnesses often go away. We have seen in cases of heart disease when people are not loving or kind to themselves or others, and they purify out that place that is not loving or kind inside themselves, the heart disease disappears. So you see, we're really, really powerful beings. By changing our inner reality and purifying ourselves, we can change so much about our bodies, our illnesses, and our outer reality. We really have tremendous power to change our lives as long as we work with purification in alignment with what the divine or God is asking of us. So please take some time, everyone, and try to find out what God is asking of you and purify those things that are in the way of it. And you watch how fast your life will begin to change and how positive and beautiful your life can become. Peace and blessings, everyone.